Our next guest on PEARLtvsc is a personal friend of mine, but she's also a motivational speaker, a world-class athlete, a news anchor, former tech executive, super successful and so inspiring. I am really pleased to welcome Nina Sussman Pogue. Hi, Nina.
Hi, Natalie. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yes, absolutely. I had the very good fortune to hear you speak. I guess it was the beginning of the year, pre-COVID, and really got a lot out of it. And I think your message is so important right now. So, what's the message that you want to get across right now?
So he who chases two rabbits catches one. Once you've narrowed those options down and you've decided which direction you're going to go in, you need to go after that and make all your decisions based on that. It helps you. It helps you decide what is important, what's not.
Well, who would think that writing a book called This Is Not the End would be so popular when it comes out right as a pandemic hits? So the name of the book that I wrote is This Is Not the End. And we went into it came out right as the pandemic was hitting, when everyone felt like, oh my gosh, this is the end. This is, what do we do from here? So my message is on resilience, and I talk to audiences about what makes a person stronger as they go through adversity. We all go through adversity, things happen in our lives, but once you go through that, how do you get on the other side of something really difficult and become stronger through it? So that's what my message is about. And we all are going through adversity this year.
We are. And for those that don't know your story, can you just touch on you've been through so much, but kind of touch on the main things and what do you call it? You have a special word.
My this is. Yeah. I said we all go through something in our life that your this is different than my this. People can go through a cancer, that's a big this, or people can go through everyday this is like a car accident or something that's kind of a capital T this, but not an all caps this. And then there's a little thises like spilling coffee on your computer in the morning that we all go through. So I call them your thises. But the big thises in my life, I was a member of the U.S. gymnastics team, and then I didn't make the Olympic team. Big this, thought my life was over. Then I'll go through them quickly, but I also was one of the top athletes in NCAA at LSU. And I blew out my knee. So having been a top recruit in college sports and then blowing out my knee, another big this. Then I was a news anchor, won an Emmy, lost that job, was let go, fired, big this. I went through a divorce, obviously a big this that changes your life. And then I was involved in a really horrible accident in which I really thought I wasn't going to come out on the other side of it. And that was a very big this. And I had to figure out how to reinvent myself once again. So those were my big thises.
And you have. I mean, your book is so inspiring, and I'm glad to hear that it is doing well, because I know, really motivational speaking is what you are amazing at, but this year's been a little different.
Yes. And so one of the things I've been talking about to audiences a lot, and I want to share with your audience, is we all had to become resilient this year. The definition of resilience that I use is here. This is the way I do slides these days. About our ability to learn, grow stronger, and adapt in a positive way when we go through a big change. So this year, we all had plans. On January 1st last year, we all made our plans for the year. None of those are what we thought they were going to be, unless someone randomly put I want to survive a pandemic in there. We didn't.
Probably not. Yeah.
Yeah. So we all adjusted and changed. So it's how do you adjust and change and get stronger on the other side? So because we've all had to adjust and change this year and survive this, we've all become more resilient. We all have learned resilient skills that we didn't have before. How to work from home, how to deal with cooking if you're used to eating out, or some big change, homeschooling that so many parents did. We all made major changes in our lives, both for professionally and personally this year, and that made us more resilient. So what do we do with that as we go into the next year? How do we use those skills that we've learned and become, we're stronger now, all of us, the whole globe.
Right.
How do we use that to make sure we have more success in the future?
So what does 2021 look like for you? I'm sure you've had to completely kind of change your path that you thought you were going to do at the beginning of this year when you released your book. What's next?
So I'm still going to do speaking. I'm doing virtual speaking, and I finished my second book this year, and it's called But I Want Both, and it's a book for working moms.
This is for me.
Yes, both have a career and be a great parent, because you can do both.
Can you do both?
Yes, I don't believe in work-life balance. I believe in just it's all your life. You make it what you want it to be. So that's what that book is about. So this year for me, 2021 is about taking this message and getting out to an audience and helping people envision their futures in new ways. I'll do that through virtual keynotes. I have some keynotes that are actually scheduled in big auditoriums for July and August.
Fingers crossed.
And then through actually Q3 and Q4 of next year. That's mine. But I think all of us, 5 years from now, you and I will get together for a glass of wine. People will get together to have coffee or whatever all over the globe. And we will have a conversation similar to what people have now when they go, where were you? Remember 9/11? And everybody has a 9/11 story about where they were. This will be our, where were you? How did you get through the pandemic in 2020? 5 years from now, no matter where you are on the entire globe, people are going to have those stories. And we're all creating those stories now. And it continues. So this is part of us creating that global story. Everybody's story who is alive right now has a plot twist in it right now. And it's what we do with that.
How can people find these books?
So they're on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, anywhere where you can get books, they're there. You can get them on Kindle. The first book is out in audiobook now as well.
Oh, wonderful.
I don't read it myself.
That was my next question.
Yeah, I was going to, but it sounded odd to say it out loud myself. It doesn't come out like it does in my head when I wrote it, but the woman who did it is professional. It is what she does, and she is really good at audiobooks. So for people who are used to listening to audiobooks, she's fabulous.
Had you ever written a book? I mean, how did you know where to start? Like for people that, because that's another thing. Like maybe you have a dream of writing a book, but you just think, I don't know where to start. What do I do?
Yeah, so the longest thing, you and I worked together in news. The longest thing I had ever written, Natalie, was maybe a 3 to 4 part series that were 3.5 minutes each.
Right.
That was the most content I'd ever put in one place in an organized fashion. So to sit down and write a book was not something I was comfortable with. I worked with a book group out of Washington, D.C. There's lots of ones out there. And They helped me organize my thoughts, put it out in a way that, one, made sense, but two, was something that people could pick up. And it could be useful.
It is. They're short, they're not long. They're really easy to read.
Yeah,
sure.
And that was a challenge because you want to say everything, but you have to figure out who your audience is and really narrow it down so you make a difference. The books that I write are with a group called Difference Press, where you only write books that make a difference. And they really helped me. I would not have been able to do it without them. They were fantastic.
Well, it is so good to reconnect with you, and I hope that all of our readers will definitely go to your website. We'll put that up on the screen. Hopefully someone sees this that would love to hire you either virtually or in person coming up for a big event, but always good to see you, Nina, and we hope to have you back soon. We are PEARLtvsc, and we're here to keep you in the know about everything that makes South Carolina great. The history, the culture, the natural beauty, and our favorite, the people. So please hit subscribe and the notification so we can be sure to keep you in the know.